Have you ever stopped to think that God might be present in the small moments of your routine? What if simple actions like cooking or cleaning were divine invitations to connect with Him? Often, we seek God's presence in major events or extraordinary miracles. But what if true spiritual transformation was in the daily activities that seem so ordinary? Spirituality, spiritual awakening, and spiritual consciousness might be closer than we imagine, hidden in the details of our routine. In this video, you'll discover how to transform everyday tasks into spiritual acts, recognizing divine guidance in them. We'll explore how these small actions can become moments of spiritual empathy, spiritual wisdom, and energetic healing, bringing us closer to a deeper connection with the Creator. Take cooking, for instance. Have you ever thought about how this moment can be an opportunity to practice gratitude? While cutting vegetables or smelling the aroma of food being prepared, you can give thanks for daily provision, for life, and for the people who share this meal with you. Each gesture, even the simplest ones, can be a form of worship and a gateway to awakening spiritual consciousness. Cleaning the house, on the other hand, might seem like a mundane task, but it can also be viewed as a symbol of spiritual renewal. As you remove dust and organize the space around you, you can reflect on the need to clean your interior, removing what weighs on your soul and prevents your spiritual transformation. It's in these small acts that God reveals Himself, reminding us that He is present even in the most mundane tasks. The journey we're about to embark on together will open your eyes to the beauty and purpose hidden in your routine. God is by your side at every moment, just waiting for you to notice His presence. Are you ready to transform the ordinary into extraordinary and live a deeper spiritual connection each day? Recognizing God's presence in simplicity. If we stop to observe, the world around us is full of subtle messages from God. The problem is that, in the rush of daily life, we often don't see these messages. Each sunrise, each gentle breeze, even the sound of dishes being washed can be a reminder that He is present, waiting for the moment when we'll invite Him to be part of these small things. Spirituality isn't something distant or reserved for specific moments, but something that can be cultivated in each breath, in each gesture, in each silence. When washing dishes, for example, there's an opportunity to reflect on how we clean our mind and heart. What are we carrying that no longer serves us? What thoughts, resentments, or fears can be surrendered to God at this moment? This simple act of external cleaning can become a powerful spiritual practice, bringing energetic healing and inner renewal. It's not just about clean dishes, but about the soul being purified. Meanwhile, while folding clothes or making the bed, we can remember that we're taking care of the space God has given us. These seemingly trivial tasks are expressions of gratitude and stewardship, an acknowledgement that everything in our lives, no matter how small, is a divine blessing. By caring for our environment, we're cultivating spiritual empathy for ourselves and others who share these spaces. But for this spiritual consciousness to flourish, we need to slow down. We're so used to doing everything on autopilot that we lose the chance to live in the present moment. What if, for example, you took a few seconds to give thanks while watering a plant, feeling the water as a symbol of divine grace that nourishes your life? And when you mop the floor, you can imagine that you're preparing a clean path for God to enter your house, your heart. Now, a reflection. When was the last time you found God in something simple? What was the moment in your routine when you felt He was there, present and attentive to your actions? Think about this and, if you'd like, share in the comments so we can grow together in this journey. Transforming routines into acts of worship. When we transform our routines into moments of spirituality, we not only connect with God, but also find a renewed purpose for what seemed ordinary. In each task, we can create a sacred space where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. But how is this done in practice? The answer lies in intention, in the meaning we give to each gesture. Think about the act of cooking. Each ingredient you choose, each seasoning you add, can be done with love and dedication, making the meal not just physical nourishment, but spiritual as well. While stirring the pot, you can pray or meditate, asking for protection, health, and joy for those who will share your food. This transforms a simple act into a moment of spiritual connection, an act of service and worship. Another opportunity to bring God into your routine is during cleaning. Imagine that each surface you clean is like a mirror reflecting your own spiritual journey. When you remove dirt, you are symbolically removing negativity doubts, and fears that can obscure your connection with God. It's an invitation to spiritual transformation, where each movement carries an intention of renewal. But it's not just about household chores. Walking to work, answering emails, or organizing a closet can also become spiritual practices. During these moments, you can practice God's presence, repeating a silent prayer, or simply remembering that He is with you in each step. Thus, even in activities that seem mechanical, you are strengthening your spiritual consciousness. Now, we want to hear from you. What was the last everyday task that you transformed into a spiritual moment? Or which one would you like to start seeing from this new perspective? Share your experience or intention in the comments below. Your story can inspire others on this journey. The depth of silence in daily tasks in a world full of noise and distractions. Finding silence in daily activities is a challenge, but also a great opportunity to connect with God. When you dedicate yourself to a simple task, without rush or external pressures, the environment around you becomes more peaceful, and your mind can calm down, creating space for God's voice. This silence is not just the absence of sound, but the active presence of God in your life, guiding your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Imagine the moment when you're vacuuming or folding clothes, and instead of just worrying about the efficiency of the task, you allow yourself to hear the silence that surrounds it. This is the moment when you can practice silent meditation or inner prayer. The spiritual connection, which we so often seek in large gatherings or extraordinary moments, can be found in the empty spaces of our routine. Silence becomes fertile ground where spiritual wisdom and divine guidance can flourish. When we learn to seek this silence in our most mundane moments, we find a new depth in our spiritual journey. Each simple task, when performed with full presence and without rush, can be an invitation to stop, reflect, and listen. The connection with God becomes more tangible, not through great manifestations, but in the serenity of everyday moments. Now, pause for a moment and think, is there a moment in your routine where you can allow this silence, this space to hear God? How would it be if, while cleaning or organizing, you also organized your thoughts and feelings, opening your heart to what God wants to share with you? Spiritual transformation in daily life. As we integrate our faith into everyday activities, we begin to notice a true spiritual transformation. The simple act of cleaning the house, preparing a meal, or organizing a space can become a sacred practice that brings us closer to God. It's not just about performing tasks, but living them with a deeper purpose. The change happens not only in what we do, but in how we do it, and the intention with which we put our heart into each gesture. When you surrender to the process of transformation through your routine, you begin to understand that there's nothing secular in your life. Each daily act, no matter how simple, is an opportunity to glorify God. This understanding is liberating because it teaches us to see that every moment of our spiritual journey is interconnected with daily life. Spirituality is not something that should be lived only in specific moments of prayer or worship, but can be a continuous experience, flowing in all aspects of our life. And when we begin to see our routine this way, something magical happens. Each task becomes a training ground for our spiritual abilities. We learn to be more grateful, more attentive to others' needs, more compassionate. Our routine becomes a reflection of our spiritual journey, and thus we begin to live with more spiritual empathy, more spiritual wisdom, and a deeper connection with God. Now, consider the impact this has on your life. When you begin to make these small actions moments of worship, you not only transform your routine, but also transform how you relate to God and others. This is part of the energetic healing that occurs when we surrender our daily life to Him, allowing His presence to fill every space of our life. And you, how have you noticed transformation in your daily life as you begin to treat everyday activities as spiritual practices? Reflect on this for a moment. Applying transformation in your daily life, now that we've explored how routine can be transformed into a spiritual path, it's time to reflect on how to apply all this in our daily lives. Each of us has challenges, moments of tiredness, and even frustration with small daily tasks. But by changing our perspective, we can realize that even the most challenging situations can be opportunities to grow spiritually. When we transform these everyday tasks into moments of connection with God, our life acquires new meaning and purpose. This process doesn't happen overnight. Spiritual transformation requires practice, patience, and an ongoing commitment to the journey. However, as you integrate spirituality into your routine, you begin to notice God's presence in every detail, and your life becomes a reflection of this connection. The spiritual wisdom that once seemed distant begins to manifest in small actions, in simple gestures, in the conscious choice to live more attentively and presently. Spiritual empathy also grows as we become more aware of our actions and how they affect others. Cleaning, caring for the home, preparing a meal, all these moments become a way of ministering not only to ourselves, but to those around us. When we live with more wisdom and spiritual consciousness, our home becomes an environment of healing and positive energy, a place where God's presence manifests in every space, in every act of love. Now, I invite you to think, how can you start applying this vision in your life today? Is there any task or habit that you can transform into a moment of connection with God? As we commit to living this transformation, we realize that the miracle is in the details. God is in every movement, in every gesture, in every silent prayer we make while caring for our life and those we love. Don't forget, you were chosen for this journey. Spiritual transformation begins with small steps, but leads to a deep and constant connection with God, who is always with you, even in the simplest moments. Thank you for being with us on this journey of discovery and transformation. May your routine become, from today on, a reflection of the divine presence in your life. God is with you in every detail, and He waits for you with each step you take. Did you like the content? Subscribe, share this video with those you think can be blessed, and continue this journey of spiritual transformation with us. There's much more waiting for you.